I'm going to show you how to generate thousands of leads for your agency in minutes using AI without having to learn some ChatGPT script or implement some kind of back-end hack. I'm going to be running you through a brand new tool that I've been using that is the cheapest solution on the entire market. In fact, you could literally generate hundreds of thousands of leads for your agency as a complete beginner for the same price of a crate of beer. And I know what I'd rather have. Don't worry, 0%. Who'd you take me for? It's 11 a.m.
You're an alcoholic.
Look, but seriously, lead generation is a massive stumbling block for so many agencies out there. Every time I put out a video about outreach or live cold calling, even the recent agency series that we put out where we started an agency from scratch, the most common question that I received was, how did you generate the list of leads that you then went out to outreach? And so many people waste weeks going through this process, but today, in this video, I'm going to completely eliminate lead generation from your thought train and show you how to generate thousands of leads for your agency in minutes. Now, when I say leads, I am referring to potential customers for your agency. These are local companies in your chosen niche that you are then going to outreach to. Now, the goal before you start outreaching is you need to build a lead list. So that's what I'm going to show you how to generate right now. In fact, let's jump straight into this. Okay, so this is the process for generating leads for the majority of new start agency owners. This is what I did. It's what many of you guys will be doing right now. You go over to Google and you find a list of potential leads. You search niche in location, so real estate in Manchester. You get a list of companies. You then visit each of those companies one by one. You see their website and you qualify them, make sure they're suitable for your service. You also try and look for the business owner's details. You then store those details on a spreadsheet. This is what we call a lead list. And once you get enough leads on that lead list, you're going to then outreach and book meetings with them. Okay, so you're familiar with that. This is what we call a manual lead generation strategy. It is still the most effective way to generate high quality leads, okay? But it is incredibly time consuming. This can take hours to generate just 100 leads, and when you start signing up clients, you start delivering service, you don't really have that time on your hands. So many agency owners turn to software. But the issue with software is if everybody uses the exact same softwares, they're going for the same lead pool, because typically speaking, the majority of lead generation software out there only looks on sources like data sources like LinkedIn and very rarely on Google. It doesn't really mash into different areas, and maybe they buy data from external companies, which is usually a little bit outdated as well. And software can be incredibly expensive, which doesn't make it suitable for beginners. But I've actually found the holy grail, and I can't believe this. I was playing around with this, it's unreal, and I want to introduce this to you. This is called Lead Swift. This is not a sponsored video, okay? I'm going to be talking about some of the negatives to this software as well. Lead Swift is a lead generation tool which doesn't just use sources like Google or LinkedIn, but it also uses Yelp, Facebook, Yellow Pages, Bing. In fact, I'll do a comparison on here so you can get an idea of this. Many people in the agency space always bum in this software, D7 Lead Finder. I was like, D7 Lead Finder is the best. I've never found it to be good. The leads are always used by a multitude of different people. This is the lazy man software use when it comes to actually generating leads for their agency. And you can actually see on this comparison list all of the different data sources that Lead Swift is using versus all of their other major competitors. So D7 is only using Google, Facebook, and LinkedIn should be, okay, it doesn't actually use LinkedIn D7 Lead Finder, but tools like Apollo do use LinkedIn. I won't bore you with the details, okay? We don't want to get too techie here. They actually did a query. They tested out a query, restaurants in Toronto, and all these different softwares. D7 Lead Finder found 1,000 leads, but Lead Swift found 5,000 leads, and then out of that, 4,000 emails ready to contact. Okay, so 4,000 different leads from the exact same lead search as all of these others. So let me log in, and I'm just going to show you how this actually works. And this is so simple. Is what I really like about this. It's really back to basics. If you've ever used Apollo or another tool, like there's so much complexity to that software. It's just not suitable for beginners. This, if anything, is a little bit too simple for my liking, but perfect for beginners. So first thing you're going to do is want to choose a campaign. Okay, so you create a campaign, and I've just called this New Leads August, and you then choose either your name. So this is actually a keyword. Okay, so this is the niche that you're trying and reach. Okay, so it's got a bunch of different niches in here already. Doctors and medical centers to you get the idea. Yeah, I don't need to read all these out. If you want, you can just type your own keyword. Okay, so you could type in CrossFit, for example, and you could just use CrossFit as a keyword instead, so you don't have to use their pre-written keywords. And then you're simply just going to write your location. So this could be New York, okay? And this is worldwide because it's using a variety of sources, so it doesn't matter where you're based. So this is what we're going to do, and then all we're going to need to do is hit search. I'm not going to waste my credits to do that, but it's then going to start creating a search for us. Now, I have already generated a few of these, and I want to show you what they actually look like now. So if we go over to, let's do gyms in Norwich. It can take like up to half an hour to actually generate these lists of leads, depending on the size. But it's always really important that when you're starting an agency, you start local. So start in your local area and keep it as specific as possible. If you live in a major city like London, don't just do the whole of London. Start off in your borough first before you then branch out later. So you see we've got a whole list of companies here. It's a massive list of companies. And Norwich is a small city. So like it's literally picked up, like, I mean, it said 600 leads here, but I don't know how many companies it's actually generated. 600, I presume, is the actual leads themselves, the business owner's details. Okay, so you get the idea. Now, what is really unique about this, and something that surprised me, is how much data we actually can gather here. I've ticked the boxes. You can screenshot this if you want. This is the data that I would recommend exporting. These are kind of the basics, but we can access their Google rating. We can access their TripAdvisor link, their Yelp URL, whether or not they're running Facebook ads. Okay, where is that one? Facebook ads. So it's finding through an AI algorithm whether or not they are running Facebook ads. Awesome. That's very good for if you're an existing agency owner and you only want to target people who are. Let's say you've got a creative agency and you want to target brands that are running Facebook ads already, or running Twitter ads, or Google ads, or LinkedIn ads, etc. You get the idea. So there's a lot of data that we can pull off here, and if we go on each of these companies, we can then click through to look at the individual contacts that it's found. Okay, but what I don't like about this, and I hope Lead Swift are watching this video so they can fix this, is we can't filter out each of these leads by a certain job title. Now, an ideal situation is we want to now be able to filter through each of these leads and only choose the decision maker. I want to be able to say, okay, now I just want to see CEOs, managing directors, owners, founders, etc. But we can't do that here. We have to take all of the leads, and I also can't quickly see the contacts. I've got to kind of look on this box and then click through, and then I'm like, okay, has it got information? No, it hasn't got information on that one. Has it got information on these people? Yeah, maybe. Okay, click through, etc. Right, you get the idea, which is a little bit clunky. I don't like that. So Lead Swift, sort your shit out. But what we can do is we can click export, and we can export this entire list where it's going to generate the contacts for us. So export one contact per row. We want to use a CSV. You can use an Excel. I'd recommend keeping include database contacts off. What this is going to do is going to dig into their own internal database, and it's going to find leads. Now, I've found, and I'm not even joking, that this list of gyms in Norwich, it generated 2,000 individual leads if I just have export one contact per row. But if I include database contacts, I have 21,000 leads. And that's because some of these gyms are franchises, they're national chains. And so it's actually then gone and found loads of contacts for the national chain as well, which may be suitable for some of you guys, but for the majority of you, I'd recommend keeping this unticked. This is what the lead list looks like. So you exported it, I then imported it into Google Sheets. I prefer Google Sheets to any other tool. It's very easy to use. And this is what the list looks like. We've got the status here on the left, which is quite interesting. This says new. I'm pretty sure this indicates that these leads haven't actually been exported before in this software. It is a brand new software. Not many people know about it, well, apart from you guys. So I suppose it's not going to be brand new for that long, but use it wisely and you're going to get some great results out of this. Now, you'll notice that what it's done is it's actually generated multiple email addresses for each individual company. So we've got this company here, Pure Gym Norwich. We've got all these email addresses generated. And again, we've got David Lloyd's Norwich and all of these, okay? And so on, Riverside Leisure Centre, all these email addresses. It's wild. Like, it's literally found like every email address on the net for that individual domain, which is amazing. Now, what this does mean that we're going to have to do, at least for now, is we're going to have to then go through and manually filter through this lead list. Now, I always recommend, regardless of what software you're using, you always manually filter through your lead list, and you manually lead generate yourself. You manually qualify yourself, okay? So what this does is it's going to create that very easy base. It's pulling these leads from Google Places, Bing, etc., okay? But it's saving us all the admin time of generating this massive list of companies and also finding email addresses. So instead, all we need to do is, let's say we've got Phoenix Gym here. We need to visit that website, have a look, and let's have a little look. Let's see if we can find some details, more info. Can we find business owner? Okay, so simple Google search, Phoenix Gym owner Norwich, Mark Bone. Okay, there we go, Phoenix Gym Norwich. Okay, so we've got Mark. See if we've got an email address for Mark. There you go, Mark at Phoenix Gym. So all we need to do now is get rid of these, get rid of the rest of these as well. And then what we could do if we want, just so we can identify that we've actually already done this lead, we can just mark that one as green so we know that one's legit. The gym group, I'm going to get rid of all of them. Okay, generally speaking, and this is like just some agency law, you don't want to be going for franchises when you're first starting out. It's going to be really hard for you. Franchises are typically like national companies. Apart from if you're doing real estate, you can go for franchises. But yeah, typically speaking, you don't really want to be going for franchises. It's not an ideal situation. You're just going to struggle to get through to them. So any of these, we can get get rid of. I'm not going to do all of these right now, but I just want to give you an example. Complete Fitness gyms. Okay, let's have a look at this website and let's see which of these guys is the business owner. Complete Fitness. What do we got? Okay, here we go. We've got the company's house here. People. Simon Hill. Have we got an email address for Simon? Hey, Simon. Cool. Easy as that. So you can see how much time this is saving us. We're not even having to look for Simon's email address. All we're doing is just qualifying that we've found the right person. Okay, get rid of Pure Gym. Again, national chain. And we've got Tower Fitness here. We actually want to be putting these in here as well. So I think that was like Mark Bone, Simon Hill, and Tower Fitness. We've just got an info address here, but maybe at least we can get the business owner's details. It says about Jackson Williams. So Jackson Williams must be the owner of this business. There's no reason why he would be there. Let's just see if we can find their company's house. So, and this is very important. Even when you just have an info address, you always need to be finding the business owner's details. Do not waste your own time by reaching out to companies where you haven't gone through the effort to find a business owner's details. There's 3 companies we've looked at, 3 business owners here right now. Imagine it if you were the business owner. You were Tower Fitness, okay, and you were receiving a call from someone who's trying to sell a service, all right? You call them up and say, hey, can I speak to the owner, please? To go over the receptionist, at best, will go over to the owner and say, hey, someone's asking for the owner business. And say, well, who is it? I don't know, they just asked for the owner. And just tell them to fuck off. Phone down. Just like done. Don't disrespect or be so naive to believe that you deserve somebody's time that does not know you. It is a privilege for us to be calling someone up and having the opportunity to sell our service to them and be able to make some kind of money, to be able to build our business. So go through the effort to find the business owner's details. I am so sick of questions from people like, what do I do when I can't find a business owner's details? You just qualify them, okay? So the actually real solution is call up that lead and say, hey, is it Bill that still owns the company? I just want to check. Okay, it might not be Bill. Okay, then like, no, it's Jackson. Oh, of course, Jackson. Is his email address still jackson@towerfitness.co.uk? No, it's XYZ. Okay, so we can go in and we do a qualification call by asking for the information based on falsity that we've just kind of made up. Okay, so hey, is it X name that owns the business still? No, it's XYZ. Okay, if we just say, hey, who owns the business, we are so much more likely to get a pushback. This is a tactic that I used in pretty much every sales job that I've ever had. It's an excellent practice, especially when you're just starting cold calling and you have no experience yet. This is an excellent way for you to prime yourself on the phone, okay? You're not burning any leads. That person's not going to remember your voice when you call back in a few days' time and ask for the business owner by their first name, okay? They're not going to remember that, but it's going to give you some confidence and you're going to be able to qualify leads on your list that other agencies aren't able to qualify, and that is the crucial point here. It is very easy for people to go online and find business owners' details, but if that information isn't readily available and you go through the effort to call them up and do a qualification call instead and find that details, you have instantly got a lead on your list that you can almost guarantee 99% of other agency owners that will compete with you in the area have already deleted from their list because they're too lazy to go through that process of qualifying. And these are the things that separate great agencies from average agencies. And these are some of the tactics that I've used over the years in my own agency that have put me so much further ahead than my competitors because I'm prepared to do what they are not prepared to do. So please, guys, look for the business owner's details. Don't waste your time. Don't waste someone else's time. Okay, back to it. I don't think we need to generate any more like business owner's details here. You get the idea. You're going to work through this list, okay? And then you've got your hit list, okay? So we'd go through all of these companies. We'd delete any of the franchises, etc., unless it's suitable for your service. You get the idea. There's thousands to go through here, but it's not going to take you much time at all. You'd do this within 1 hour, probably less than that. You'd filter through all of these leads. Depending on your niche, you might have a bigger list that you're going to need to work through. Now, what I would recommend you doing just off the back of this, because you're probably going to be emailing these companies as well, maybe even DMing them. You can see we've got a lot of Instagram pages here too. I would recommend you slapping all of these emails and putting them through an email verifier. Okay, so let me just show you. So there are a bunch of different tools that you can use. An email verifier is just simply a tool that, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You put in an email address, it verifies whether or not it's a legit email. Never Bounce is good. Hunter.io is good. I personally like using Million Verify. It's incredibly cheap. We're literally verifying tens of thousands of leads every month. This is one we use in our agency, as you can see. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check that out, but I would recommend always verifying email addresses before you send them out. Your email health has to be a priority for you. You don't want loads of bounce backs, etc., because it will harm your email health over a period of time. Okay, let's go back to LeadSwift. Now, this tool does have a couple of other functionalities. It does have an outreach tool of which you can send outreach emails straight from it. I personally would advise like staying away from this for now. I don't think it's got the right functionality that you need, and I doubt that the algorithm is that strong. Instead, I would recommend you using other tools like Instantly or Lemlist. Stick to the ones that you know best, watch some videos on my channel, and you can learn about that system as well. But what I do want to show you guys, which I think is really cool, is the website creation functionality. You can actually use this tool to auto-generate an entire agency website for yourself. You put in the agency name and your domain that you want to use, your custom domain, and it'll generate everything for you. It's pretty wild. Like, I was actually really impressed when I saw this template. So this is the template that it uses. It's got a lot of things on it. You can get rid of a bunch of stuff, of course. It's just like a wide kind of broad template for other agencies to use as a base, but it'll generate this for you, and you can use the editor. It's pretty simple. I've played around with it myself. It is simple. This is not a permanent website, really. You're going to want to use and build your own one later down the line, but this is a great place to start. You can change the colors. You can change all of the text. You can, of course, change this guy, and you need to go ahead and do that. Don't be lazy, guys. Use your head. If you're going to use this, you don't want to be the same as 100, 1,000 other people that have used the exact same website template. Change the colors, change this guy for sure, change all of the different services and the copy, etc., etc. I shouldn't have to tell you that, but trust me, every time I put out a video like this, I'm like, oh wow, like that's that website again and again and again, and people use the same copy, etc. I can't stress enough how important it is to be unique as a business owner. You cannot just copy and paste other people's strategies and expect to get the same results of them. You have to be a pioneer, and you have to go out there and you have to do things yourself, create your own individuality. Now, I actually reached out to LeadSwift and said I was recording this video, and they've extended a pretty crazy offer. They'll actually give you guys this website template for free. So if you sign up to the software, there's a code, I think it's Platten. I'll check that and verify that before I put it in the description. Platten, Platten, block caps. They will give you this website for free. All you need to do is fill in your agency name, your domain name, and it'll also generate that website, and you do not even have to pay for hosting. So this is an incredible place for those of you that are tight on cash to start off. Yeah, pretty wild that they're doing it, and God knows how they're paying for the hosting. So I want to quickly run you through this pricing model, but I'm not going to sell it to you. I don't care if you sign up. I don't need your affiliates. What I want is what is best for you guys. And this is the cheapest solution out there right now, bar none. And I'm going to tell you why in a moment. It's a crazy model. It's $25 per month on the starter package. That's a 50% discount because they just launched. And if you sign up, you also get to keep that 50% discount for life. Cool. And then if you use the coupon code Platten, it's going to take off another 20%, and then it'll put this down to $20 per month. Okay, so it's the price of a crate of beer or some junk that you bought on Amazon recently and you forget about. But for all the leads that you could possibly need to scale your agency to 10 or even 100K a month, right? But what I think is crazy about this model is they charge based on searches. Now, every other software I've ever used before in the lead generation space charges you based on the amount of exports that you do. Okay, so it might be $50 for 5,000 leads or $100 for 15,000 leads, etc., and it scales up from there. But here we are limited to one search per day on that $20 package. But you could go in and export 20,000 leads in one day, wake up tomorrow and do the exact same thing, and the day after that, and the day after that. So it's a wild model, and I haven't found any other software that can actually compete with that, joint with the fact that they're feeding data from so many other sources that others aren't either. Now, Apollo is probably the biggest competitor. This is something that we actually use in our agency, and we were using beforehand, and so many people do use, but I just want to show you, look, $39, 2,400 email credits. Like, we can put 2 zeros on the end of that with Swift, LeadSwift. Forgot to name them. Professional, you can pay $79 and you get unlimited email credits, but you can only select 100 records at a time. So you go through the software, select 100, export, select 100, export, select 100, export. It is so limiting because they want you to sign up to their custom package, and we were paying at a time $800 per month for the custom package with Apollo. So they've basically just been shat all over. Okay, so I'm going to put a link in the description. You can check it out. Let this be the end of your worries when it comes to lead generation. You don't want to be wasting hours doing this. You want to spend as much time as you can on outreach. The more time you have to sell, the more clients you're going to sign up, the quicker you're going to reach your goals. It's as simple as that. And I want to emphasize that you cannot lean on software. Do not be lazy and export this massive list of leads and then just run it through your email list and hope that you're going to sign up some clients. You're not. All you're going to do is burn your email health out, and you're going to piss a lot of people off, get some bad reviews, your agency is going to sink. Okay, you do not get rewarded for being lazy in this world. So do not be lazy. Make sure you manually go through those lists and you qualify them yourself before you then go and put them in an email automation, or you start cold calling those businesses and speaking to the business owner. If you contact one of the leads on your list and you say, I'm actually just down the road from you, they're going to be so much more receptive than somebody else who calls them up that is 100 miles away. Why would you want to fight an uphill battle? Start local first of all. That's your in. That's how you're going to sign up clients in the shortest amount of time. Cool. That's it for now. See you soon. Cheers.